very funny Paul Barach, everybody.
Thank you guys for coming out, supporting live comedy. So I always like to start out with a little bit about myself because I look like this. And what surprises most people about me is the fact that I am Jewish. Because let's be honest, guys, I don't look Jewish. I look like an extra in American History X. Not the speaking role, just the guy in the background nodding in agreement. Yeah. Why should Koreans own a grocery store? Now, I think I could pull this off if I was tan. Like, if I was tan, people would look at me and be like, oh, he's Israeli. Probably a lieutenant or something. But the thing is, I'm this pale all year round, which is normally fine because it's Seattle, but during the summer, all of my friends' 4th of July photos look haunted. They gotta turn to me and be like, Paul, were we playing Frisbee on like an Indian burial ground? I have to be like, well, technically, yeah. I mean, all of America is. Don't look horrified. That's just history. I'm sorry it took genocide to found a country. And now that I've lost the audience. The other thing about me, my birthday is tomorrow. I'm about to turn 32. Which is the age Alexander the Great was when he turned 32. And like, I'm finally becoming an adult. Like, I finally have a job because I was unemployed for a long time. And guys, I am not gonna lie, it was awesome. My morning commute was pants. And the sleep, guys, oh my God, the sleep. I didn't know dreams had endings. Now, like, I haven't been wasting my time either. Like, I've been doing my art, I'm doing comedy, and I'm writing a book. And I finally realized why people write books in coffee shops. It's not because we're pretentious or trying to impress anybody. It's just that you can't quit and start masturbating in a coffee shop. Like I said, I had no money, so I had to cut back on my food budget. So I started eating chicken hearts. Which, I know, it sounds gross, but guys, they're a really good source of protein. And also I gained the chicken's power and strength. And I'd eat it with broccoli, because it's a good source of iron. And I'd eat them in a burrito, because it's too sad to eat them one at a time. And I realized this one day as I'm eating my burrito of hearts, and a couple of them fell out. And I just looked down at the plate and I go, I'm a monster. Because, like, I haven't done the research, but I'm pretty sure in every culture, there's a pale, bald creature that lives in the woods and eats small hearts. Like, if you went down to, like, if you were watching, like, Pan's Labyrinth and you went down to, like, Eyeball Guy's dinner, and I'm just there eating small hearts, you'd be like, oh, his brother's in town. He probably needs a ride to the airport. But the thing is, like, I was feeling really good. Like, it's a really healthy meal, so I was doing great. But then it got kind of out of hand, because one week, as I'm eating my burrito of hearts, my chef friend calls me up and he goes, hey, Paul, I got a bag of demi-glace. Do you want some? And I go, what is demi-glace? And he goes, oh, it's gelatinous bone marrow. And I go, yes, I do want that. So there was this week where I was eating hearts, bones, and iron, which is not a human diet. That's what a frost giant eats before it attacks Asgard. And And so the whole week, I'm totally amped up. And that same week, by the way, this is literally all true. My dad calls me up and he goes, "Hey, Paul, a pipe burst in our house. Can you help me tear out the drywall?" And I go, "Can I?" So I go over there, and I'm just staring at the drywall, and my dad is this very calm Jewish professional, goes, "So, do you want a crowbar?" And I go, "No." And then I just punch through the drywall. Just to see if I can do it. And while my hand's still in the wall, my dad looks at me and goes, "Yeah, so college was a waste." And I go, "Pull the rock and punch through it again." Because if you're going to punch through a wall, commit. Yell your own name. And he's just looking at me, and I finally see it click in his eyes that while he did try his best to raise a middle child, really he just gave a caveman a bar mitzvah. Like he's in the synagogue like, "No, Oog, don't eat the Torah. Interpret it." And I know this is going to come back on me in some kind of weird samurai jazz singer situation when I have a kid, because I'm already this intense and a black belt in karate. So I'm going to raise this kid like Lone Wolf and Cub. Like around age 2, I'm just going to set him down and be like, "Choose the sword, you come with me. Choose the ball, you go with your mother. You chose the ball. But inside the ball is a tiny sword. Good choice, son." And I know like age 16 he's going to get all rebellious and be like, "No, Dad, I'm not practicing with throwing stars. I'm going to be a pediatric surgeon." I'll be like, "I have no son," and throw down a smoke bomb, but just disappear into the garage. And the thing is, it's still like this with my parents. Like, my birthday's coming up, and they've called me up and they're like, "Paul, what do you want for your birthday?" The same thing I want every year. A dagger made of meteorite. Why do you want a dagger made of meteorite? Because they exist. And you can buy them on the internet for money. Why don't you want one? Do you want new clothes? Do they come from space? No? Then give me the sky sword. Yeah, we're not getting that for you. Oh, really? What if a portal opens up and an intergalactic being appears and I don't have the sky dagger? Now Earth is doomed because you don't love me enough. Actually, I looked at the Costa one and no, they do not love me that much. No one should. But I just love the idea of them. Because they come from these islands where there's no metal. Like the only metal you get is from meteorite. Which means that this thing was traveling through space from like time immemorial. Like before cells divided, this thing was on its way to Earth. And after bursting through the atmosphere in a cascade of fire, it crashes not into the ocean surrounding most of this planet, but somehow, improbably, into this tiny patch of ground. And a guy walks up to it and picks it up and holds this miracle that came from the gods and says, "Finally, I can stab Frank." All right, guys, my time is up here, so I'll leave you on this. There are only 2 sentences that contain all 26 letters.